glorious Monday on Hilton Head Island. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful day it is outside today. Hope you're here. If you're not, come on and visit us. Reminder, rather than just asking live questions below, which is not a problem, you can ask questions live below and we'll answer those at the end of this. But we also have a mailbag. There's a link to the mailbag below. You can ask a question at any time between now and next week and we'll answer it live on the air next week. Let's get into the numbers for Bluffton this week. 19 new properties came on the market, 21 last week, and this week last year we had 56. Year to date, we brought 196 properties on the market in Bluffton so far this year. And at this point last year, we were at 324 new listings, 40% difference, 40% reduction in new inventory coming on the market in Bluffton. Sales this week, we had 25. Last week, we had 10. Nice bump. This week last year, 37. Not that far off from where we were last year. Year to date, we've had 190 closed sales. And at this point last year, we were at 213, an 11% difference in the number of sales. So 40% less inventory, 11% less sales. That smells like appreciation to me. Under contracts, we had 37 properties go under contract this week. Last week we had 25. And on this same week last year, we had 54. Year to date, 200 properties have gone under contract so far this year. And on this date last year, it was 300. 33% difference. The average selling price in Bluffton, $645,000 is the average selling price as of today in Bluffton. On this date last year, it was $483,000, a 33% increase in the average selling price of a home in Bluffton. Insane. Days on the market, 84 is the average amount of time it takes to sell a home in Bluffton. And at this point last year, it was taking 112 days. Now, let's talk about Palmetto Dunes. Now, with Palmetto Dunes, and next we'll look at Windmill Harbor after this, we're just going to look at the year-to-date numbers. So we had 42 new properties come on the market so far this year in Palmetto Dunes, and at this point last year we were at 67, 37% difference. Sales, we've had 37 sales so far this year, and on February 21st last year we were at 41, just a 10% difference. Again, same as when we looked at Bluffton, you know, big difference in inventory, not so much a difference in sales, big appreciation. Pending, we've had 39 properties go under contract so far this year, and on this date last year, we were at 65. That's a big difference. The average selling price in Palmetto Dunes, $1.4 million. On February 21st, 2021, the average selling price was $782,000. Huge difference. Is that appreciation? No, that's not all appreciation. That's just showing the strength of the luxury market. The higher end properties are selling at a greater pace, and it's really forcing that number up. I'd say annual appreciation, though, is probably close to 30%, maybe even a little bit more across the island right now. Really impressive numbers, and I see no signs of that changing. Inventory is what's driving this bull market. It's inventory. And as you can see with the inventory numbers, down 30 and 40% for Bluffton, nothing seems to be changing that. There's a huge demand for property in our area, and I just don't see that changing anytime soon. Cumulative days on the market, 59 is the average amount of time it takes to sell a property in Palmetto Dunes. And at this point last year, it was 62 days. Next, Windmill Harbor. Windmill Harbor is a really small neighborhood, so the numbers, you gotta take some of them with a grain of salt. New inventory, we've had 5 properties come on the market so far this year, and at this point last year we had 11. The sales, we've had 11 sales so far this year, and at this point last year we had 7. Nice number to see. Pending, we have 12 properties currently under contract in Windmill Harbor, or we've had 12 properties go under contract so far this year. Excuse me, there's a difference there. We've had 12 properties go under contract in 2022, and at this point last year it was 17. The average selling price, $424,000. That's way down from $999,999 last year. What's the difference, you ask? Well, we had a lot of lots sell this year so far. So I think 5 of the sales so far this year, or 6, have been lots. So that makes that number appear lower than what it is. I don't see anything in Windmill Harbor that tells me Windmill Harbor is any different than anywhere else on Hilton Head Island. Supply is way down, demand is way up, prices are going through the roof. So don't let that number skew you. I promise you in the next couple months it will kind of all wash itself out and make sense. Days on the market takes an average of 132 days to sell a property in Windmill Harbor. And at this point last year, that was 56. Again, very, very small sample size. Don't worry about the numbers too much. 6 months in, if the numbers are still wacky, we can talk then. And so let's now wrap it all up with Hilton Head Island. Hilton Head Island, we had 47 properties come on the market this week. Last week, we had 35. This week last year, we had 100. The year-to-date numbers, 338 properties have come on the market so far this year on Hilton Head Island. And on this date, February 21st last year, we had 522, 35% reduction in available new inventory. Big numbers. Sales, we had 30. Last week, we had 21. This week last year, we had 55. Year-to-date, 312. And on February 21st last year, 389, 20% decrease in sales. But the inventory coming on the market, there's a greater reduction. Again, points to bigger and more appreciation. Under contracts, 53 properties went under contract this week. Last week, we had 71 go under contract. And this week last year was 87. Year-to-date, 399 properties have gone under contract so far this year compared to 572 on this date last year. 30% decrease in properties going under contract year over year. The average selling price on Hilton Head Island up to $751,000. Remember, Bluffton was $645. Wow. Who would have thought that 10 years ago, right? That Bluffton would just be on the tails of Hilton Head Island in terms of average selling price. $751,000. At this point last year is $595,000. 26% increase in the average selling price of a property on Hilton Head Island. Days on the market down to 48. I've never seen that. My 20 years selling real estate, I've never seen 48 days on the market as the average. And at this point last year it was 84, so almost half. Almost half. So, mailbag. There's a link to the mailbag in the description below. Put your questions in there. And if we don't get to them today, if you don't submit them before we finish today, we'll answer them for you next week. Before we answer mailbag questions, hope you saw the new Anything But Bland that dropped yesterday. Great job, Bland. It's an awesome one. Go over to YouTube and check it out for us. Now for the mailbag. Question from Justin. What is the timeline for the 278 bridge construction project? So my understanding is the plan is they're going to begin construction early next year. There is a community meeting on March 3rd, I believe that it is, that is open to the public. But we're going to drop a link for you so you can follow everything about the project on DOT's website, South Carolina Department of Transportation website. And literally everything that you could want to know about the project is there, including timelines, including meetings, all of that stuff. So we're going to give you that link as a resource. Justin also asked one other question. How long is construction and renovation taking in Bluffton right now? You know, it depends on what you're going to build. My folks are building a house right now on Hilton Head Island. It's going to take them about 14 months to go through that entire process. The delays are really centered around appliances, windows, all of those types of things, those consumer goods that are being delayed in shipping. That's where the delays seem to be. But, 14 months isn't bad. I would say that, it's probably a 20% increase on where we were 2 or 3 years ago. So that's all the questions that we have. Justin, thanks for answering or placing your questions in the mailbag. And I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. All right, so this is it, the predictions video. Before we make a prediction though, let's go back and kind of look at where we've come here in the last couple of years, specific to Hilton Head Island. I know other markets are different, but on Hilton Head Island, if we jump back to 2020, the year of COVID, The first 5 months, 6 months, it was dead. Then it went crazy. The market went crazy, right? Not a lot of appreciation because it was a lot of activity. Jump ahead to 2021. The first half of 2021, still plenty of inventory, tons of sales. Market just goes crazy. The second half of this year of 2021, less inventory, less sales because there's less opportunity to buy, but because there's fewer inventory, there's fewer properties to buy. What happens is, like anything, the less of something there is, the more competition you have to buy it,